Hello, if you are watching this video, that means you are an ASOC exam candidate. I, VU3RIV, a member of Amateur Radio Society of Assam, welcome you to this channel. And today the topic we are going to discuss is designation of emission allotted to the amateur radio services and authorized frequency bands, power and emission for amateur radios in India. So we are given some necessary bandwidths, and their classifications for the emissions are given in some groups. So the groups of the designated class emissions have a minimum of 3 characters. For example, you can see here we are given like this A1A. So here the first character will give you the type of modulation. The second character will show you the nature of modulation of the main carrier, and third the character will give you the type of information to be transmitted. Now the common designation of emission allotted to the hams are A1A. So A1A, it is a continuous wave, that is CW, double-sided band telegraphic for oral reception which contains quantized digital information without the use of modulated subcarriers. So that means this type of emission doesn't have any modulated subcarrier, and this is mostly used for the mode of Morse code communication in the ham radio band. Now next is A2A. Now A2A is similar to A1A, but A2A consists of, or it contains use of modulated subcarriers. Now A1A doesn't contain modulated subcarriers, but A2A contains modulated subcarriers. A3A. A3A is double-sided single-band channel analog transmission that contains sound broadcasting or contains telephony. That is, it is commonly used for voice transmission, and it is commonly known as AM or amplitude modulation also. Now these are the things which you need to remember. There are again more of them are there. So let's continue. So next is H3E. So H3E is single sideband full carrier single channel analog transmission that contains telephony. That means it includes your sound broadcasting. Now next is J3E. J3E, that is, it is single sideband suppressed carrier single channel analog transmission contains telephony. Now you can see in this you have 3 and 3, and then earlier also you had 3. So this 3, that is, it is using for transmission of voice, that is, sound is being transmitted here. Okay, so J3E, it is a single sideband suppressed carrier single channel analog transmission contains sound broadcasting, and it is mostly used for as a mode of voice communication in the ham radio bands. Then after that comes F3E. So F3E stands for frequency modulated single channel analog transmission containing telephony. So it is also commonly known as FM. F1B. F1B is for frequency modulated single channel telegraphic transmission containing digital information for automatic receptions. So again, moving further, we have F2A. F2A stands for frequency modulated single channel telegraphic transmission containing digital information for oral reception. And we have A2B. So A2B stands for frequency modulated single channel telegraphic transmission containing quantized digital information with modulated subcarriers for automatic receptions. Then we have A3C. So A3C is frequency modulated single channel analog phase mile transmission. Then we have A3C. A3C is amplitude modulation, that is, it is an AM double side single channel analog phase mile transmission. Then we have A3F. It is amplitude modulated double side single band channel analog video transmission, that is, it is used for video transmission. Now moving further, now we are authorized to use some frequency bands, and as amateur radios of India, are given some frequencies, all of you know that, and we are given some power limit of emission. So let us see what are the bands and frequencies we can use and what is the emission type. So here you can see the band is given for 160 meter, that is 160 meter. The band is known as 160 meter, and the frequencies which are given to amateur radios of India are 1820 to 1860 kilohertz, that is 1820 to 1860 kilohertz. So here is some astral mark you can see here. I will explain it to you later. Now for this band, 160 meter band, the power emission for restricted grade is A3E, H3E, J3E and R3E, and the maximum DC input power is 50 watts. Now the general grade, they can use all of this, that is A1A, A2A, A3E, H3E, J3E, R3E, F1B, F2B, F3E, F3C, A3C, A3F, and the maximum DC input power for general grade is 400 watts. Now all of this will be same until we are going to 10 meter band. So let us see what are the frequencies that consist of 80 meter band. So 80 meter band consists of 3.5 megahertz to 3.7 megahertz, that is 3500 kilohertz to 3700 kilohertz. Now 75 meter band consists of the frequencies 3890 to 3900 kilohertz. Now 40 meter band, it consists of the frequencies of 7000 kilohertz to 7200 kilohertz, that is 7 megahertz to 7.2 megahertz. Now 30 meter band, the 30 meter band consists of 10.1 megahertz to 10.15 megahertz. Now 20 meter band consists of 14 megahertz to 14.35 megahertz. Now 17 meter band, it consists of 18.068 megahertz to 18.168 megahertz. Then 15 meter band, it consists of 21 megahertz to 21.450 megahertz. 12 meter band, it consists of 24,890 kilohertz to 24,990 kilohertz. 10 meter band, it consists of 28,000 kilohertz to 29,700 kilohertz. Now this, for all of this, the emission category for amateur radio of restricted grade will be the same, as that will be A3E, H3E, J3E, R3E, and the maximum DC input power will be 50 watts. Similarly, for general grade, for all of this frequency, that is from band 160 meter to 10 meter, 160 meter to 10 meter, the general grade will have the emission categories which are A1A, A2A, A3E, and so on. They will get this emission type, and maximum input DC power will be 400 watts. Now it changes in 6 meter band. The 6 meter band consists of 50 to 54 megahertz. So here the restricted grade license holder will get a liberty to use F1B, F2B, F3E and F3C, and the maximum DC input power they will be allotted is 10 watts. Whereas the emission for general grade for 6 meter band is F1B, F2B, F3E, F3C, and the maximum input power is allotted to them is 25 watts. For 2 meter band, that is 144 to 146 megahertz, the restricted grade will be allotted to use these emissions F1B, F2B, F3E, F3C, and maximum DC input power is 10 watt. Similarly, emission for general grade is F1B, F2B, F3E, F3C, and maximum DC input power is 25 watts. Now this will be similar for 70 centimeter band also, that is the frequency lies from 434 to 438 megahertz. Now the band which are 160, 180 and 75, these bands they are shared on primary basis as some relevant provision of radio regulations. Now the band which consists of this 30 meter, then 17 meter, 15 meter. So these are authorization for non-interference and non-protection basis. So these are on shared basis, that is these are shared basis. And the band which is of 70 centimeter, so it is on secondary basis as per the relevant provision of radio regulations. So these are the these are things which you need to remember. One more thing, there is also a frequency which is given, that is 5725 to 5840 megahertz. So these two are on secondary basis as per the relevant provisions for radio regulations. So you need to remember all this chart, and this will help you a lot. So you need to remember all this, what are the name of the bands and frequencies allotted to the amateur radios of India. So you need to know about the nomenclature of the radio frequencies and their wavelength. So the frequency which ranges from 3 to 30 kilohertz are known as very low frequencies, and corresponding metric subdivision is known as mariometric wave. Then for low frequencies, that is the frequencies lies between 30 to 300 kilohertz, and those waves are known as kilometric waves. Then the frequencies whose range is from 300 to 3000 kilohertz, those are known as in medium frequencies, and the waves are known as heterometric waves. Then the frequencies ranging from 3 to 30 megahertz, so those type of frequencies are known as high frequencies, and those are in metric scale subdivision, those are known as decametric wave. Now the frequencies from 30 to 300 megahertz, those are known as very high frequency, that is VHF. Now this VHF in metric system, metric subdivision, they are known as metric waves. Now for UHF, that is ultra high frequency, the frequency lies between 300 to 3000 megahertz, and those are known as decimetric wave. Now super high frequency wave, that is the frequency lies between 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz, and those are known as centimetric wave. Then extremely high frequencies, that is the frequency ranges from 30 to 300 gigahertz, are known as millimetric wave. So you need to remember all this nomenclature of the frequencies and wave. So there might be some questions on these two. So that will be all for today, and I think it will help you all for your exam. So if you have any queries regarding any, or you have any problem regarding all these things, you can reach us. I'll be linking our page to Facebook, where you can ask us direct questions, and we'll try to solve it as soon as possible. So with this, I thank you, and keep watching these videos, and please do consider subscribing to our channel and like our channel. Thank you. Have a good day.